Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a genuinely massive challenge that businesses run into when deploying artificial intelligence. And we're looking at a completely groundbreaking solution from Anthropic that, honestly, changes the game. If you've ever found yourself wondering how organizations can finally bring true consistency to their AI adoption, moving past those erratic outputs and locking in perfectly standardized internal workflows, well, you are in exactly the right place. Picture this. Imagine the absolute managerial headache of trying to get an entire team of 50, or heck, even 500 employees to use the exact same financial reporting format with an AI assistant. The AI is incredibly smart, for sure, but it completely lacks your specific company context. So, what happens? Everyone prompts it a little differently. You end up with 50 different versions of what should be a standard financial report. The foundational problem is this. How do you actually teach an AI your exact step-by-step company workflows so it executes them flawlessly, every single time, without your team having to manually prompt it to death? Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for the next few minutes. We'll be covering 1. The AI context gap, 2. Meet agent skills, 3. Progressive disclosure, 4. Standardizing workflows, 5. Skills versus other tools, and 6. Security and deployment. Section 1. The AI context gap. We really need to understand why out-of-the-box AI kind of falls on its face with daily corporate tasks. As Anthropic points out in their engineering breakdown, general-purpose models like Claude are phenomenally powerful, but real day-to-day work, that requires procedural knowledge. Without a standardized way to feed AI this procedural context, teams just end up building these fragmented, inefficient, custom-designed workarounds for every single organizational use case. One department builds a custom agent for processing PDFs, while another builds a completely different tool for data entry. It absolutely doesn't scale, it's expensive, and frankly, it's an administrative nightmare to maintain. Section 2. Meet agent skills. Think about hiring a brand new employee. You wouldn't just dump the entire massive company manual on their desk on day one and expect them to memorize the whole shebang, right? No. You'd give them an indexed guide. You tell them exactly where to look when specific tasks pop up. Well, agent skills do exactly this for Claude. They are organized folders of instructions, scripts, and resources that agents discover and load dynamically to perform specialized tasks. They're highly composable, which means Claude can automatically stack multiple skills together based on whatever a task requires. And the best part? They're completely portable. Anthropic's actually published agent skills as an open standard at agentskills.io, meaning this format works seamlessly across different platforms and tools. Now, what's absolutely fascinating here is the sheer simplicity of how this works under the hood. At its core, a skill is just a directory containing a primary file called skill.md. This file kicks off with YAML front matter, containing the skill's name and a quick description. From there, it can bundle other reference files, say a separate forms.md document packed with your specific form-filling instructions. And incredibly, it can even include executable Python or Bash scripts. It is basically an elegant, super lightweight package of company expertise. Section 3. How progressive disclosure works. So if we're packing all these instructions and code into folders, how on earth does the AI read these onboarding manuals efficiently without totally overloading its context window? Well, the secret sauce here is a design principle called progressive disclosure. It actively limits the amount of context the AI has to process at any given moment. Let's walk through this exact 4-step sequence from Anthropic's PDF skill example to see it in action. Step 1. At startup, Claude's system prompt only loads the metadata, literally just the name and description of the skill. Step 2. If the user asks Claude to edit a PDF, Claude realizes, hey, this skill is relevant, and invokes a Bash tool to read the full skl.md file. Step 3. Claude decides it needs even more granular detail and chooses to read a bundled subfile, like forms.md. And finally, Step 4, Claude proceeds with the task. It's brilliant because it only loads exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. And here is where it gets incredibly powerful. Actually, it's a total game changer. Skills can include code execution. Why rely purely on AI token generation to extract data from a PDF or sort a massive spreadsheet? Token generation can be expensive and, let's be honest, a bit unpredictable sometimes. By including a pre-written Python script right within the skill, Claude can just run the script itself. This brings pure, deterministic reliability to those repetitive workflows. It's cheaper, it's way faster, and it perfectly executes the exact same way every single time. Section 4. Standardizing organizational workflows.
So the crucial point is this: how do operational leaders actually deploy this across a company to lock in internal workflows and best practices? If you're on a team or enterprise plan, an admin can provision a skill globally for all users. This unlocks some seriously incredible use cases. You can force the AI to apply your exact brand style guidelines to all presentations. You can ensure every single set of generated meeting notes follows your strict corporate format. You can even have Claude create Jira or Asana tasks that perfectly adhere to your team's unique naming conventions. The entire company inherits these standardized procedures instantly. Zero manual setup required from individual employees. It just works.
The operational benefits here are literally massive. Just listen to this. MJ Felix, a product manager, noted that skills streamline their management accounting workflows. Claude processes multiple spreadsheets, catches critical anomalies, and generates reports using their exact procedures. By standardizing the procedure, they took a financial workflow that used to take an entire day and turned it into an automated task that takes just 1 hour. And it's not just finance, by the way. Yashrita Bhavnani, head of AI at Canva, stated that they plan to leverage skills to customize agents, really helping teams capture their unique brand context. When major global enterprises are validating this framework to lock in high-quality, standardized design and context, you know for sure that this is a fundamental shift in how we're going to manage AI in the workplace. Section 5. Skills versus other tools. As with any new tech capability, it's super easy to get tripped up by the terminology, so let's quickly compare projects to agent skills. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference in design philosophy. Projects provide static background knowledge. If you're working inside a project, that knowledge is always loaded into the context window, no matter what you ask. Agent skills, on the flip side, represent dynamic procedural knowledge. As we saw with progressive disclosure, skills just sit quietly in the background and are only loaded up when they're actually relevant to what you're trying to do. Next up, we have MCP, the Model Context Protocol, versus agent skills. Now, these two actually work together harmoniously. Think of MCP connectors as the plumbing, right? They're the pipes that connect the AI to external services and data sources like Notion or Box. Agent skills, however, are the instruction manual. While MCP gives Claude the physical access to a tool, the skill teaches Claude exactly how to use that specific tool effectively, strictly following your company's standardized workflows. Section 6. Security and deployment. Now, with all this incredible power, especially that ability to execute code, comes a really important responsibility. Safely deploying these capabilities is an absolutely critical step for any organization. Because skills provide Claude with actual code execution capabilities, literally running Python or Bash scripts on your behalf, malicious skills could introduce some pretty severe vulnerabilities. You have to be vigilant here. You should only ever install skills from trusted sources. And if you're pulling in a third-party skill, you must thoroughly audit its code dependencies. Pay special attention to any scripts that might instruct Claude to connect to untrusted external network sources, because that could easily lead to unintended data exfiltration. Security has to be your top priority when you're handing an AI this level of procedural autonomy. Anthropic has actually noted that looking ahead, they hope to enable agents to create, edit, and even evaluate their own skills, basically allowing the AI to codify its own successful patterns into reusable, standardized habits. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. If agents will soon be able to create and evaluate their own skills, what organizational workflows will they codify for you tomorrow? The potential for scaling your best practices is practically limitless. If you want to dive deeper into this open standard, you should definitely go explore the documentation over at agentskills.io. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep innovating.